Good morning. Just had to replace this backflow preventer earlier this morning, and I thought that would solve all my problems, but of course not. So what I got going on here is when I turn the system on, zone 5 in this case stays on. So what that means is the valve is stuck open. It won't close. There's two ways to fix it. You can either take apart the valve and clean it, or you gotta replace the whole valve. So what I'm gonna do right now is try and clean it. It's kind of a delicate process. There's 6 bolts or 6 screws, I guess. So this is the valve in question on the right. 6 screws. Gotta be careful. There's a rubber diaphragm in there and a spring, and sometimes a piece of debris or some glue will get in there and it'll prevent the diaphragm from moving up and down, which means it won't close. So I'm hoping I don't have to dig this up and do a valve replacement, because it looks like they used poly, which nobody uses in the South. So yeah, that's what we're doing. So obviously you want to make sure that the main is turned off, because once you take these screws out, water will flow out of here like nobody's business. And of course this valve box might be in the way, which might mean I have to dig it up anyway. I don't take them all the way out at first. I kind of get them most of the way out. This one's going to be tricky because it's right up against the valve box. This one's going to be tricky behind this solenoid here. Open up manually just by twisting this piece, or there's a bleeder screw right here. That's how irrigation guys turn your system on if you're not home. There's the spring. Sometimes a vacuum cleaner works really well. Removing the diaphragm. Let's see what's in the valve body, and the valve body is clean. The valve body is clean. So I'm going to put this back together. So I'm going to start a couple screws because the spring keeps wanting to spring. Kind of do it like a tire. of times this will fix the problem. It's super easy. Just gotta be careful. Not exactly sure how it works, but the spring and the diaphragm open and lift up and lift down and let water pass through, which serves the function of the valve. This particular one is not closing, so as soon as I get this buttoned up, I'll put the solenoid back on, and if I turn the water on and zone 5 is still running, then I'm going to have to dig a big hole and replace the valve. Which, the replacement of the valve is pretty easy. It's the digging, because you got to have a big hole so you got movement in the pipe. It's not like you're putting it together at installation where you got all kinds of room and all kinds of play in the pipe. This particular one is made with poly, which I don't do poly, but I'm sure I can fix it. Just snugging these up. Put the solenoid back in. Alright, so now I'm going to turn the water back on. This is the main. When you turn on a system, you want to go slow. You don't just want to crank it on. Feel it building. Okay, water's on. So, here's the moment of truth. I'm going to walk around the building here, and if this zone is on, then I'm going to pray that that's enough. It's not always the case. But it could be. So, it's running. What I did here is I tied into this pop-up here, stuck a piece of funny pipe around. It didn't fix the problem. So that didn't work. So I know this is the valve in question. It's hooked to the green wire. It could be the solenoid. The solenoid is a very real possibility. The problem is, I don't want to say that they go bad, because they do. But I'm going to try right now and just reconnect this. See if that makes any difference. So just to give you an idea how much I got robbed right there. I bought an extra valve with a solenoid. I buy them from Sprinkler Warehouse online. They're $12 for the whole thing with the solenoid. People are just scammers. Alright, I got the solenoid on. One thing with this low voltage irrigation stuff, it doesn't matter which wire on the solenoid goes where. It just doesn't matter. And I am going to strip this a little bit more. This is a 100 valve. This is what I like to use. Each valve has an arrow. You know the water flow is going that way because the main is right here. And that's a lateral line. So I'm going to take the valve or the solenoid off just so I can spin this thing around. This is not how I would normally do this, but that I should probably put over going in from where the water's coming from. These are always a little tricky to tighten if you don't have a vise. Just do the best I can. There's one good time. One more. That's good. Okay, so the valve's going in this way. You can see the arrow on this side pointing to the right or the left maybe. Okay, so but I'm not going to worry about gluing this side on yet because I got to get this on. Do have some play in these lines, which is nice. Would make it a lot harder if they're PVC lines. Sometimes you gotta dig a big hole because you gotta get enough play in the line. I'm gonna try and do one more wrap on this guy. I'm gonna hold this nut. This come on, have a turn. Nope. That's pretty good right there. Now, this guy put this some of this mud so I got some room. This is not going to be fun or easy. I like clear primer because I'm not a plumber. I think the only reason purple primer is so they use purple primer so the inspectors can see that they primed all the pipes, but I don't do that. I don't get inspected. I like clean primer or clear primer. First you have to open these up. I brought a brand new can just in case my other crap dried up. Piece of pipe is going to be nothing. Should probably try. Alright, so I got it all hooked up. Gonna let the glue set for a little bit. I need to see what time it is.